Okay, just going to do a quick video on the gold-silver ratio. As you can sort of see at the moment, yeah, we're seeing that sort of like for a long time it has been in this sort of upward trajectory in that, and it still is holding this trend line with gold being a sort of better performer than silver. But certainly in the last couple of weeks, this is on a weekly chart at the moment. If we zoom right down into this, 1, 2, 3, 4, the last 4 weeks or so, drastically has been sort of seeing sort of silver outperform gold. And you know, if you look at the charts, if you look at what's been happening, look, I'll pop this up here. If we have a look at sort of, let's put the gold over here, and then we can pop silver next to it over here. Take these drawings off and put it onto the lower time frames, and you can see here. Let's put them side by side. So this is a good sort of representation of sort of how silver has been performing compared to gold. So here you're seeing, you can see the times match up with the dots on each chart. Gold on the left over here. This is the highs over here. You can see silver's highs over here. Both of them at the same time got a smackdown, got a big sort of drop off. If you make it sort of, let's make it so they look a little bit relative. You can see both of them had this big sort of sell down period through here, whereas silver, bang, right back up to the tops, while gold just lagged and barely got back up sort of over like sort of 30% or so of its actual drop down. So it's been a very big sort of outperformer with silver as it has been in comparison to gold. So it doesn't mean that they'll both sort of pump and go to highs kind of thing, but it just means that sort of when people are getting into the market, and they're sort of moving into sort of putting money into sort of precious metals, where do they want to be putting it? Do they want to be putting it in gold or do they want to be putting it in silver? Well, as you can see here, as it pushes down, silver has been the sort of predominant one. So gold-silver ratio, up, gold is the dominant one, down, silver is the dominant one. So we are sort of seeing that if we put these drawings back on, we're coming into a bit of a confluence here. So if we go onto the daily, you can see it a bit better. This is an area and level in which we've seen it represent, reacted to a number of times. As I showed you a moment ago, this is a big major, going back, this is going back, how far? To 2011, when silver was absolutely ripping. I can't, like, that was before I was trading, but that was when silver was like, up around that sort of, $50 mark. It's sitting currently at about sort of 32 or so. But what we are sort of seeing at the moment is this little push up through here. Now, it's not exactly sort of trend changing, but we are seeing a reaction off this level where it has sort of pushed back up here quite significantly, at least in the last day or two. Yes, it's still drastically down on this whole move, but it means that sort of like, as people may sort of be looking to put their dollars back into the precious metal market, it's seeming that gold at the moment is starting to sort of outperform silver. And if we look at an actual example on the charts, so again, we go back to gold and silver over here. So we're seeing gold on the left, silver on the right, and we get right down onto the smaller time frames. Go to the 1 hours, get the drawings off there. And you can see how the two are sort of performing at the same time here. We got gold has pushed off its lows. Again, if you look at the two charts, the dotted line will sort of show the same time. Gold hit the lows, silver hit its temporarily lows. And then gold has sort of pushed all the way back up through here, while silver is currently moving down. Gold is sort of moving up. And this is where the ratio sort of comes into effect. It doesn't mean that like the whole market is going to be buying metals or not buying metals. That's not the point of it. It's the point is when they're putting money into the market, who's going to be the better return? Who's going to actually act a little bit better? And as we're seeing that gold rate silver ratio turn up, people are noticing this and they're thinking, well, you know what? Maybe there's a better upside in gold here. Because remember, gold hasn't revisited its tops over here, while silver already has. Silver, admittedly, as we said, look, it's not a big turnaround. Look at silver through this move here, and gold through a similar kind of time. They've both been moving up. So metals have been sort of dragging a lot of money into the market. But whereas gold sort of given back 50% or so of this move, silver is still hanging around the top over here. So by that sort of thought, you would think that, you know what, maybe there is a little bit of opportunity for gold to move back up to retest the highs. The move for silver to get back up the top to the highs over here is not exactly the same. Where you do this now, which one's the measure? Oh, that's the move back up there. So yeah, you've got a 5% move back to the top side here, and you got a 5% move to the top side over here. So both similar in terms of percentage moves, but for silver to get a major breakout, you're going to have to see gold recover a little bit more as well. And it sort of stands to reason that sort of, as you can see here, we had the highs in gold. There's a good chance that gold gets it back up to the top here. Silver can move back up to the top here. Yes, they're both around that sort of 4.5% moves, respectively. But at the same time, gold hasn't sort of come back up here to clear the liquidity. I would say sort of as the money sort of pours back into it, we'll see both of them probably most likely move up here. You're not going to see gold move without silver moving, but certainly sort of I think you're going to see a faster move in gold relative to silver moving forward. And I think, again, if we go back to our initial chart with the gold silver ratio, and we sort of take these drawings off here, we're seeing this represented through here. It doesn't mean that we're necessarily going to buck the whole trend, but at least to sort of come back to a recovery area, I think this is where we're going to sort of see a bit more money come into the market on the gold side till we sort of get up to around this sort of 77.86 level. All right, that's it from me.